This was kind of the game that I was worried about, and yeah, I had a good reason to worry about it.
Back 5 minutes. Well, up to Werenski with a shot. Struggle off the penalty coming up.
The last 3 games in Montreal's schedule, they're facing teams that are on the cusp of being eliminated. Do they do or do they die? And Montreal has to decide that. Is the want there? Do they want to win these games? Yes, they do. These are important games for Montreal as well. These are the games that decide who has home advantage. The Blue Jackets. Montreal can play well against the Blue Jackets, but the Blue Jackets also have the ability to beat Montreal. Who will come out the better team tonight? Let's talk about it.
-10 syrups.
First of all, I want to thank you all for the support you gave on last night's video. 20,000 views or something like that? That's incredible. I didn't ask you to subscribe. I should have, because like 20 people subscribed. You know, when I asked you to subscribe, it actually works. So even just mentioning this now, somebody might be like, hey, I should probably subscribe. Everyone else, don't worry about it. Hit the like button because that helps me out with watch page, putting me on the watch page. So I think I got everything out in like the intro before the intro. So let's just jump right into La Formation de Départ. The starting lineup for tonight. Let me try that again. Nos attaquants are forwards. Oh, that wasn't really good either. Nos attaquants are forwards. Caufield, Suzuki, Slavkovsky, Texier, Kapanen, Demidov, Newhook, Danault, Doc, Veleno, Evans, Anderson, Gallagher, Bolduc, still not playing tonight. No défenseurs, our defensemen. We got Matheson, Dobson, Struble, Hudson, Xhekaj, and Engstrom. Still no sign of Goulet, although he did practice with the team in a full contact jersey. No Galdien, our goalies. We got Dobson and Net Fowler on the bench. 7 days from the Stanley Cup playoffs, Montreal. Who are they facing in round 1? And the Blue Jackets, are they going to win 3 straight in order to make it into the playoffs? Because I think that's probably what they're going to have to do. They dropped the puck on this one, and it's pretty obvious straight away that Columbus has come to play. Pace of the game is fast. It feels like a playoff game. That changes as the game goes on, I will say. And Columbus strikes first.
Got it around to Jenner, up high. Werenski with a shot, finishes the save, scores. Boone Jenner.
Boone Jenner, the captain, making it 1-0. This obviously was a breakdown. Engstrom was supposed to be looking after Marchment here, but Marchment began to travel towards the blue line. At this point, Engstrom should have transitioned to Veleno's player, who is Jenner, but Jenner is left all alone, and he is left to do whatever he wants. He puts us in, Columbus up 1-0. So not starting off very good for Montreal, and it gets worse. Matheson takes a weak holding call here. Officials definitely have their whistles out tonight. Not a great way to start the game for Montreal, but you know, Columbus is really pressing here. They look good. Montreal does kill off this penalty, and Slavkovsky puts one off the inside of the post. Montreal is now punching back, but then Columbus punches back, and in a lazy rush play, Coyle makes it 2-0. Coyle gets fed by Christensen here, who is just completely unmolested. Montreal looked really lazy on this one, not picking up their guys, not making it hard for Columbus at all. So things look pretty bleak. Montreal is going to need a spark quick, or it's going to fade away.
Hudson laid it down for Edmonton. Josh Anderson tips it home.
Pretty much exactly what the doctor ordered at this point. This whole sequence just so perfectly executed. The passes are on the spot. Evans sets up Anderson so well for this. Definitely a deserved one for Anderson, who has been playing great, but it's more of those intangibles that don't show up on the stat sheet. He now has 14 goals on the season, which is it's in his wheelhouse. Not a mind-blowing season for Anderson, but he did miss like 10 games, right? Still in the first period, Demidov deflects a shot wide that was set up by Hudson so well. I swear, if this would have went in, this could have been a different game. And as we come to a close in the first period, Newhook gets a good chance, then some pushing and shoving. Doc showing some grit here. He'll get rewarded with an offsetting penalty. Don't think Doc should have gotten one. This should have been a Montreal power play, if I'm being honest. But that's it for the first period. We head into the second period, and it starts 4-on-4. And of course,
down to the wing, Marchenko will carry it in. Old touch, goal! scores.
Marchenko makes it 3-1. Yeah, of course, Columbus scores here on what I think should have been a Montreal penalty. Marchenko just beats Dobson here. Now Montreal is being pressured in their zone. They're having a really hard time winning the tug of war against Columbus. And as it looks like they're finally getting out of their zone, they take a hooking call. This happens because the details aren't being focused on. Jack-Eye, who has been given a lot of leash tonight, and I think ends the night with the most time on ice he's ever had. Let me just check on that. Yeah, he basically finished with 20 minutes tonight. 1944. More on that, and you'll find out why that happened. But like I said, Jack-Eye was given a lot of leash tonight. This was kind of his fault. He made a dumb mistake of icing the puck. He didn't quite get to the red line, and that's what caused an icing. They play in their zone. They can't get it out. Long shift. Yeah, penalty happens. But on the penalty kill, Dobson makes a great save with his head on Marchenko. And they do manage to kill that penalty, but shortly after...
Wish out on it to stop it. He'll move it for Struble. Oh, the wing cut off by Johnson. Chance.
Yikes, Struble. Talk about details. You want to talk about details? Struble gives away the puck here with so much time. Dobson is probably thinking, you know, I could have done that. I could have sent it up the wall like that. But then it all unfolds, and this is a bad one for Montreal. And now Dobson is going to block a shot here. It looks kind of harmless, but he would leave the game and not come back. At least someone's blocking shots because Columbus is racking up shots at this point. Jack-Eye's also blocking shots, I want to mention. I think he finished with 4 or 5 on the night. But I want to throw some cold water on this. Dobson might have just left the game because I feel like they're not, how should I say this? They're not quietly quitting or anything, but I think that they need to show that some of the depth players can rise to the occasion. And that's why, you know, probably Jack-Eye got 19 minutes tonight. And that's why Struble also got 19 minutes. And Engstrom got a lot of time as well. Matheson didn't play half the game like he often does. Dobson, you know, I hesitate to say that he took the night off, but he leaves on this shot. I do want to say that I feel like Dobson has been dealing with something, and yeah, he needs the rest. A lot of these guys need the rest. Anyway, that's sidebar. We're getting off onto something. I need to do just a video soon where I just maybe recap the season, talk about my thoughts, and yeah, I'd actually expect that to happen. But now Jenner is going to the box before the end of the second period. Montreal back on the power play. Can they capitalize? Demidov gets a good feed but doesn't get the shot he wants. And that's the end of the second period. They're still down 4-1, but they'll try again in the third. Third period starts, and they wouldn't score on that power play. They get another power play, and they do score on that one. And guess who?
Suzuki with it. Nick Suzuki flips it to Caufield.
Caufield makes it 4-2. Caufield on a Saturday night, that's the free space on a bingo card. But what a shot. Wow, no room here. Bad angle, and it gets past Greaves. So another little bit of a spark for Montreal. Are they going to keep that momentum, or is Columbus going to grab it back? Well, Matheson puts Fantilli into the boards here. Fantilli doesn't like it, so he cross-checks Matheson in the back pretty high, which didn't draw the penalty, but then Matheson starts pushing him, and then Matheson draws the penalty. Fantilli doesn't relent. Matheson removes his gloves. They scrum. Nothing really happens here, but Matheson's going to get 4 minutes, and Fantilli's going to get 2. I thought it was going to be the reverse, but Matheson did take off his gloves. So now on the power play, Columbus scores again.
Enter down low. Hanson from Johnson jamming at it. Dummies kept it out.
5-2. Or wait, it looks like they score, but after the refs meet, they call this goalie interference. It was certainly a garbage goal. It was banged in here by Jenner, and they show the overhead shot. To me, and I'm the opposite of biased here, this looks like a good goal. To me, Dobson fell over backwards, and yes, he was touched, but he just fell. Columbus, however, is not going to challenge this, which I actually think is a good decision because this is goalie interference, man. You don't know. Montreal kills the remainder of that penalty, and then Werenski will push Demidov into the boards. He goes head first into the boards. There's a little bit of a scrum, and wow, this is a dangerous play here. Demidov is turned around, not expecting to be pushed into the boards. Werenski believes that the puck will get to them, so there will be a battle. He gets like a free nudge on Demidov, but the puck doesn't get to Demidov. He flat out just interferes and puts him into the boards. He's going to get a 2-minute penalty. Demidov goes to the dressing room. He's bleeding. I thought this could have been more than a 2-minute penalty, if I'm being honest. Now in the power play, Suzuki just misses. And then Suzuki and Slav, strong drive to the net here. Montreal is buzzing, but they whistled down the play. They call this a hand pass, but there is no one on Montreal who touched the puck. It looks like Slavkovsky lunges for it, but doesn't make a connection. Now they have to take the draw outside the zone. Ah, man. And on the power play, Texier takes a holding call. Of course, they go on a 4-on-4. Columbus kills the remainder of that penalty. Texier is still in the box, and Coyle scores again.
Fantilli tries to get around to no. Fantilli down low, front scores, Charlie Coyle.
Anderson doesn't pick up Coyle in time, and just a beautiful pass from Marchenko here. Dobson doesn't get over in time. 5-2 for Columbus. Still in the third period, things are about to wrap up, and it's a little bit too little too late, but Montreal is sewing Columbus in their zone. Texier gets a few nice chances here. Demidov, Hudson would later get a really nice chance. They pump their shots up a little bit, but ultimately Columbus will win this 5-2. And they didn't face too much adversity in this one. They were definitely helped out by the officials, in my opinion, except on that goal that was overturned immediately. Definitely not Montreal's best game, but they didn't reciprocate the intensity that Columbus was giving out tonight, and I'm not totally surprised. This was a bigger game for Columbus than it was for Montreal, and it's going to be like that for the game tomorrow night, and it's going to be like that for the game on Tuesday, right? So prepare yourselves for that. Prepare yourselves for Mike Matheson not playing 23 minutes a night. Prepare yourself for Dobson maybe not coming back, period. Alex Carrier still out, of course, but could there be backup coming in? David Reinbacher. Sources say that he could be called up from the Rocket. That is certainly interesting. That could give them a little bit of a shot in the arm. We'll see. We'll circle back on that one. Anyway, disappointing game. I wouldn't say like a total surprise for me, but it's disappointing. You know, this wasn't an important game, but like I said, more important for Columbus, and it puts them in third place, but still tied in points with Tampa. They could still leapfrog Tampa. It's not over yet. That's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your support. Really appreciate you all. Have a great night, and you guys know what to do. Like the video, it helps me out with search results or something like that. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'd love to have you. And as always, I will see you down in the comments.
Bonsoir.